But if that's what Mr. Cruz has brought to this world, there still remains one more word on the man.
I'd like to say a few words.
Call it Tom Cruise on Tom Cruise Scientologist.
Tom Cruise on Tom Cruise. Let's go.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist, and it's something that you have to earn. And because Scientologist does, he or she has the ability to create new and better realities and improve conditions. Being a Scientologist, you look at someone and you know absolutely that you can help them.
Yeah.
So for me, it really is KSW, and it's just like it's something that.
So KSW means keeping Scientology working. Just FYI.
I don't mince words with that.
No.
You know, with anything.
Why would you?
LRH does, but that policy to me has really gone, boy. And there's a time I went through and I said, you know what? When I read it, I just went, this is it. This is exactly it. Being a Scientologist, when you drive past an accident, it's not like anyone else. As you drive past, you have to do something about it because you know you're the only one that can really help. That's what drives me, is that I know that we have an opportunity and to really help for the first time, effectively change people's lives, and I am dedicated to that. I'm absolutely, uncompromisingly dedicated to that. The orgs are there to help, okay, but we as also the public, it's like we have a responsibility. It's not just the orgs. It's not just Dave Miscavige. It's not just me. It's you. It's everyone out there kind of rereading KSW and looking at what needs to be done and saying, okay, am I going to do it or am I not going to do it? Period. And am I going to look at that guy or am I too afraid because I have my own out ethics to put in someone else's ethics? And that's all it comes down to. Because I won't hesitate to put ethics in on someone else, because I put it ruthlessly in on myself. And I think that I respect that in others. And, I'm there to help. And we're here to help.
Now, Tom says that he won't hesitate to put ethics in someone else. That means put them in their place. So Tom has a bunch of Sea Org members. These volunteer, some of them teenagers. These volunteers that work for Scientology for about 15 cents an hour. Tom has no problem putting them in their place. I'll tell you more about that another time, though.
Said, look, you're either on board or you're not on board. Okay, but just if you're on board just like the rest of us. Period. We are the authorities on getting people off drugs. We are the authorities on.
They are the authorities on getting people off drugs. The authorities.
We are the authorities on improving conditions.
They're the authorities on improving conditions for their slaves that work for 15 cents an hour, for people that are thrown in the hole or beat up by the leader, David Miscavige. I mean, yes, they're very ethical.
Criminon, we can rehabilitate criminals.
They are criminals. Scientology are criminals.
To happiness, we can bring peace and unite cultures.
Right.
That once you know these tools and you know that they work, it's not good enough that I'm just doing okay. Travel.
Hey Tom, have you ever met a suppressive person?
Who? No. Being a Scientologist, but don't pretend you see things. You don't become overwhelmed.
Oh yeah, there we go.
And,
so in Scientology, if you get kicked out or you leave and you speak out against Scientology, people like Leah Remini, Mike Rinder, those type of people, they're called suppressive people or SPs. Okay, they're evil. You don't talk to them. If you see one, you run. Just like Laura Prepon ran from Leah Remini. Why am I closing my eyes while I talk? I'm doing a video, you guys. When she saw Leah Remini at a Chelsea Handler's party, she literally ran out of the party. Okay. So Tom Cruise thinks it's funny that someone says, have you ever met a SP? Well, yes, he has. His daughter Suri is one. That's why he doesn't talk to her.
I went, they said, so, like, have you met an SP?
Oh my God, you manic freak.
I looked at them, and I thought, oh, what a beautiful thing, because maybe one day it'll be like that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe one day it will be that. Wow, SPs, like, they'll just read about those in the history books.
Yes, Tom. Historians are lining up to write a historical record of the suppressive people, the people that don't fall in line with Scientology, the people who don't have hundreds of thousands of dollars to pay for courses. They'll write about those people in the history books, along with Xenu.
The thing is, I just go through that tech, and it's not how to run from an SP. It's PTSSP, how to confront shatter suppression.
It is about running from an SP. Like I said, Laura Prepon. Also, when Leah Remini and Mike Rinder won an Emmy for their award for The Aftermath, Elizabeth Moss left during their category. She said she had to go to the bathroom, but I'm not buying it.
You apply it, it's like, boom. Because they don't come up to me. They do that.
Yeah, they don't come up to you. You're a psychotic freak, Tom.
Not to my face.
No one wants to talk to you.
Or anywhere in my vicinity where they feel they can be confronted. That's not doing. Look, I wish the world was a different place. I'd like to go on vacation and go and romp and play.
Tom, he can't go on vacation. He can't play because he's just too busy saving the world from the suppressive people.
Just do that. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what I want it to be. Okay? That's how I would, there's times I'd like to do that, but I can't.
No.
Because I know.
Because you know what?
I know. So, I have to do something about it. It's not.
What?
You can sit here and wish it was different, and then you look at it and you go, okay, this is it. All right, okay. And there's that moment where you go.
You really need to stop this auditing. It's literally fried your brain. And this is back a long time ago. I can't even imagine how bad it is now.
I have to do something, don't I? Yeah, I really have to do it because I can't live with myself if I don't. And that really is it.
But you
I don't care if someone thinks it's harder.
But you can live with yourself. The fact that you don't talk to your own daughter, Suri, and that you turned your other children, Bella and Connor, against their mother, Nicole.
Easy. You're either helping and contributing everything you can, or you're not. Okay? Because I'm carrying my load. Right? And only that,
carrying some load.
As much as I'm carrying, I still feel like I got to do more. All right? There's still a thing of, let's go. You can just see the look in their eyes. You know the ones that are doing. And the spectators who are the ones that are going, well, it's easy for you, or what am I doing? And it's just, that thing is, I've canceled that in my area.
Lisa Marie Presley literally hated Tom Cruise, by the way. And you can probably see why.
It's like, man, you're either in or you're out. That's spectatorism, and it's something that is, we have no time for it now. So it's our responsibility to educate, create the new reality. We have that responsibility to say, hey, this is the way it should be done, because we do it this way and people are actually getting better. And let's get it done.
Let's get it done.
Let's really get it done and have enough love, compassion, and toughness that you're going to.
I don't know what I did there. Yeah, enough of Tom Cruise anyway, right? All right. So welcome to my channel, Gaslighty. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I have a podcast. The only thing stopping me was because of my teeth. As you can see, I have no teeth. And I'm smoking, yes, but I've got a lot of stress in my life, so it's really the last thing on my list. And I'm sure smoking played a factor into it. So I'm not asking you to feel sorry for me, but I'm just going to say fuck it and do the YouTube channel anyway. I'm hoping to raise money for dentures. So eventually I would like to monetize my channel if at all possible. So please like and subscribe my videos, share them. Yeah, I would love to save up for dentures. That would just make my life so much better. But anyway, welcome. Sorry, my background's kind of weird. My lighting sucks. Let me see if I turn it down a little. Yeah, that didn't help really much. Anyway, it's going to look funky. Eventually, I'm going to have some good equipment. I'll have a mic, you know, stuff like that. But this is what I got to deal with now. So just bear with me. So anyway, I wanted to do this channel because I'm very obsessed with Scientology. I'm on what you call a Scientology watcher. There's a guy who has a YouTube channel named Mark Headley. He escaped from the Sea Org back in the early 2000s. And it's called Blown for Good. It's fabulous. And he basically said he thinks that we like watching the Scientology stuff because it's like our own little Scientology soap opera. And he's probably right about that. It is very interesting to watch. God, this lighting's driving me crazy. I want to take off the background, but it's so cool. Oh, well, I hope you can just deal with it. Let's see if I can make anything look better here. No, it all looks pretty much the same. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, my show is going to be about Scientology, of course, and other cults. We're doing some stuff on Nexium, QAnon, Heaven's Gate, and definitely going to keep up with the Danny Masterson trial. He is he is a current Scientologist. He just went through a trial that came with a hung jury. 3 women have accused him of RAPE. And it was back in the early 2000s. So it's just now coming to trial because these women did not report. Because in Scientology, it is very clear that you do not report things to the police. So for decades and decades, they have covered up so much abuse. But today I'm going to do my show about Lisa Marie Presley. I should probably change this background because it is probably distracting. Let me see if I can do that here. Let's see. How about no background? There we go. That's better. Okay. I did like that little Scientology thing, though. That was fun. Anyway, so yes, as you all know, Lisa Marie tragically died at the age of 54. Let me put up a picture here. Okay. Okay. Oh, wait, that's not the one I wanted to do. Okay. Let's see here. Bear with me. Okay. I just love this picture of her. I always thought Lisa was just really cool, beautiful woman, very smart. But unfortunately, she got, you know, roped into Scientology at a young age by her mother. So Lisa Marie is the daughter of Elvis, of course. She was born in 1968 to Elvis Presley and Priscilla Presley. And she's also the sole heir to her father's estate that when he died, I believe it was worth about $100 million. And she did end up selling about 85% of it in 2004. So Lisa's big introduction to music, besides her father, was in the late 1970s. She attended her first rock concert. She saw Queen, and she gave Freddie Mercury a scarf of her father's after the show. So I bet that was really cool to meet Freddie Mercury. So shortly after her father's death, her mother did begin dating an actor, Michael Edwards. And Lisa Marie reportedly was sexually abused by Edwards. I know I'm not supposed to say those things on YouTube. It demonetizes your channel for some reason, but it's my first show, so I'll just try to be more careful. So she was sexually abused by him, and that really started to mess her up. She said he would enter her room intoxicated when she was young. And so, as we all know, Lisa did struggle a lot with substance abuse and probably some mental health issues as well. It runs in her family. So, you know, a lot of people were saying, oh, did Scientology play a role in her death? No. Heart disease runs in her family. And not only that, she had just lost her son a couple years earlier to suicide. There are a lot of Scientologists that unalive themselves, as people say on YouTube. And, you know, that's just so tragic. So I'm sure all those things played a factor, not to mention she was going to testify in the Danny Masterson civil trial and possibly even the retrial coming up soon for the criminal case. So in 2006, Presley was married a few times. She first was married to a man named Danny Keough, and they had 2 kids, a daughter, Riley, who is a beautiful, beautiful actress, and a son, Benjamin. And then she got a divorce. And then Benjamin, he committed suicide in 2020 at the age of 27. He shot himself. And she actually found the body. So that had to be completely just horrible. So then we all know that she also married Michael Jackson for a short time. And she did tell journalist Tony Ortega that she did actually love Michael Jackson. But Scientology facilitated their divorce. They did not want her to be with him. So they pressured her into divorcing him, just like they have done with other people like Tom and Nicole, for instance, Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. And that was mostly because Nicole Kidman's father was a well-known psychiatrist, and Scientology believes that psychiatry is evil. So they are forbidden for seeing psychiatrists. There was even a time when Tom Cruise did a movie with Steven Spielberg, and some Scientologists picketed outside his son's psychiatrist's office. I mean, they're just disgusting. They just do the weirdest shit. Anyway, I think that's why a lot of them end up committing suicide, because they don't get the proper treatment. A lot of them die of cancer too, because it's not that Scientology is against getting treatment for cancer, but a lot of them just, you know, they wait too long to get the proper care they need. Sorry, I had to walk away for a second. Okay. So also Presley was married to musician Michael Lockwood, and she had 2 daughters with him. They went through a very nasty divorce, and Scientology was angry with Lisa at the time. She had been getting into it with David Miscavige. So, yeah, that did not work out. And they actually helped him with the custody issues. So that's another horrible thing they did to her. So before Lisa's passing, she was, I can go back to this. She was, she did attend the Golden Globes to celebrate the nomination of Austin Butler for the movie Elvis, which looks really good. And she just seemed not right. Let me show you what I mean. It seemed like she was struggling. Let's see here.
Tonight will be a wonderful night for Elvis.
Yes, I hope so.
And have you gotten to know Austin Butler a little bit?
Yeah, I'm going to grab your arm.
Yes.
A lot actually. I adore him.
When you first saw him, what did you think?
You mean in the movie?
Yeah, just saw him, in the role.
I was mind blown, truly. I actually had to take like 5 days to process it because it was so spot on and authentic.
What do you think the biggest challenge was? Is it the singing, or is there certain characteristic to pull off? A look, a twinkle, or something?
Characteristics, mannerisms, the singing, the talking without doing it in like a caricature way, like it's been done in the past.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of done like in a sort of funny, joking way he spoke.
Yeah.
But Austin actually got it and did it perfectly without making it sort of comical or.
And he didn't overdo it.
Amazing.
Right.
And
he didn't overdo it.
Don't you live in Montecito, Santa Barbara area?
No, I don't.
Not anymore. Okay,
No.
I thought you did. I'm sorry.
I did at one point, yeah.
It's terrible up there right now.
I know. It's really awful.
Is there a performance tonight? Is Austin going to perform? Have you heard anything like that?
I don't think so.
That would be fun, wouldn't it?
It would be great.
Swivel those hips, baby. Let's get going.
He looks great.
Well, good to see you both. Thank you.
He's just about to come.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Is he coming now? I just went on vacation in the same place as him. A handsome guy.
Yeah. No. So yeah, she seemed unsteady, and it's very possible that she did relapse. So when Lisa relapses, she uses a Scientology method. It is called the purification rundown. And it just involves a lot of sauna and way too many vitamins. And a lot of people in Scientology that struggle with substance abuse, they end up doing that instead of getting actual proper care. And a lot of times people die from that because they're not getting a proper detox. There's a group of rehabs called Narconon, and people go there. They've had hundreds, probably, lawsuits against them for just the horrible care they get there, the deaths that happen there. And a lot of people, they do the purification rundown, and then they run out and they relapse, and they think they can do the same amount as they did before, and that's how one way they end up dying. Anyway, okay, so let's see here. What did I want to share next? Oh yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what Lisa Marie Presley was going to do for the Danny Masterson trial. And this is an article by Tony Ortega. And hold on one second. Let me just pull this up. Give me 1 minute. Sorry about that. Let's see. I'm going to do the Tony Ortega thing after. Okay. So Danny Masterson is a actor. You might know him best for that 70s show. So back in the early 2000s, he was accused of multiple sexual assaults. So basically, there are probably, I believe, at least 10 or 12 women who have, that's Danny on the left, who have accused him of these things. So Lisa Marie Presley was involved because she was friends with some of his accusers. 3 women are the ones that he's on trial for: Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, and Jane Doe 3. And Lisa was particularly good friends with Jane Doe 1. And what happened was, since people do not report rape to the police in Scientology, they report it to the church, someone called an ethics officer. And then Scientology, they pressured, because Jane Doe 1 was thinking of going to the police, and Lisa did listen to the church and did pressure her to not report it. She later did apologize for that. So she did not end up testifying in that trial because the judge was trying to keep out as much Scientology as possible. But here's what was going to happen. So the deputy DA, his name is Mueller, I believe. he explained to the judge that Lisa Marie Presley was subpoenaed, and what they wanted her to testify to was that after Jane Doe 1 was assaulted by Masterson, she was talking about going to the police. And this is from an article by Tony Ortega. And so she was talking about going to the police, and Scientology asked Presley to talk Jane Doe 1 out of it. The way the prosecutor was describing it, it sounded like a classic case of obstruction of justice, says Ortega. The Church of Scientology did not respond for a request for comment on the specific allegation, but has previously said that the church has no policy prohibiting or discouraging members from reporting criminal contact with Scientologists or anyone to law enforcement. Quite the opposite, the church says. Church policy explicitly demands Scientologists abide by all laws of the land. That is complete horseshit. There's specific policy written down in many places that you do not report things to the police. Scientology has no respect for the government or police. In fact, I'll do another video on this, but Scientology is responsible in the 70s for one of the largest infiltration of the government in history. It was called Operation Snow White. However, they do get cozy with the LAPD. They donate lots of money to them. So they do have a hand in covering up things for Scientology. And these attacks by Danny Masterson were one of the things that they helped cover up. To continue, what that means is that Lisa Marie Presley would not have just been testifying to a crime committed by Scientology, but one that she'd taken part in, says Ortega. Therefore, she had some exposure, some legal exposure. Prosecutor Reinhold Mueller told Judge Charlene O'Mano that Presley's attorney told the DA's office that Presley may be taking the Fifth Amendment and that she maybe had some concerns about dissuasion of a witness. Mueller said that although his office believes any potential crime would be beyond the statute of limitations, they agreed to give Presley immunity. Once that was resolved, Presley agreed to sit down with the DA investigator for an interview on Friday of last week. This is an old article. Mueller told the court that Presley told the investigator she had been contacted by the Church of Scientology after the April 2003 alleged rape of Jane Doe 1. She was asked to make contact with Jane Doe 1 and to calm things down in the sense that apparently at the time, Jane Doe 1 was considering going to the authorities, and the Church of Scientology wanted things to be handled in-house. So basically, So based on the instructions from the Church of Scientology official, she did in fact make contact with Jane Doe 1 and had a conversation with Jane Doe 1, and then at some point thereafter reported back to the Church of Scientology. Mueller also referenced a direct message he wanted to admit as an exhibit, along with Presley's testimony, which I hope they can still use her testimony if they do decide to use that in the retrial. So Presley sent a message to Jane Doe 1, and it said, "OMG, I looked for you and found you. I am dying to talk to you. So much has happened and changed, and I need to start by apologizing for contributing in any way all those years ago, for helping anyone who tried to quiet you about what you had gone through. Those were crazy times with crazy people, and I'm not one of them, and not one of them remain in my life right now. Please write me back so we can talk." So that's great. That means they're not in her life. These Scientologists are not in her life anymore. So I think she really did distance herself from Scientology. She just did do so publicly, and I really wish she would have. She could have made such a good impact. So in the end, Judge Almeida ruled that any testimony by Presley about Scientology's alleged request was not relevant to Masterson's rape trial, which was really too bad. So anyway, another weird thing about Lisa Marie Presley is that no Scientologist showed up at her funeral. So I thought that was kind of odd. Her best friend is John Travolta, and he wasn't even there. So I'd like to share a little bit of one more video, and then I'll wrap it up. This is another thing about Lisa, and Tony Ortega had done an interview way back when, but out of respect for her, he did not share it at the time. But now that she's passed away, he did finally release it. So here's a little bit about that. I believe this is it right here, possibly. Wait, let's see. On Scientology, okay. Let's see. Here we go. I think this is the one I want to share.
Story of growing up in Scientology, becoming one of its more visible celebrities, and then breaking away after becoming more aware of its abuses was a complex tale. It's a fucking hell of a story. There's so much to it, she said. And ultimately, it had become a tale about how she was now pitted against David Miscavige, who had taken over control of Scientology following the 1986 death of its founder, L. Ron Hubbard. Dave was a good friend of mine. Now he's fucking Hitler, she said.
He's fucking Hitler.
I asked her to start at the beginning. I got in right after my father died, Lisa Marie told me, explaining how she ended up a Scientology celebrity. Elvis Presley had famously kept Scientology at bay, saying that it only wanted his money, but when he died of cardiac arrest on August 16, 1977, there were still some Scientology books that had been sent to him among his things. Priscilla Presley had divorced Elvis in 1973, but she found the books and she was curious about them. She knew that John Travolta was involved in the group and she asked him about the books. Travolta sent over his assistant, a woman named Sylvia Spanky Taylor. John sent me over, and that's how I recruited Priscilla Presley into Scientology, Spanky told me for a 2015 interview. For Scientology, it was a huge get. Both the former wife and the daughter of the king were sucked in, after Elvis himself had resisted their recruiting efforts for years. For Lisa, as her friends called her, who was 9 when her father died, it was a bewildering experience as her mother began dropping her off at Scientology facilities. She said her mother was treated with deference as a major celebrity.
See, remember I told you that Priscilla would just drop her off at the celebrity center so they could deal with her?
But Lisa herself was treated shabbily, like an afterthought. My mom was always trying to figure out what to do with me. I had watches on me. I thought at one point that I wanted to join the Sea Org just to get out of my mom's house. In Scientology's highly hierarchical structure, the Sea organization is the elite inner core of dedicated church workers. Joining the Sea Org requires signing a billion-year contract and the promise of coming back, lifetime after lifetime, while working 365 days a year for $25 a week. When there's any pay at all. Lisa must have been feeling pretty desperate to even consider it. My mom would dump me off at Scientology. She dumped me at Flag at one point, she said, referring to Scientology's spiritual mecca, the Flag Land Base in Clearwater, Florida. But there, at least, she was taken care of by the captain of the base, a woman named Debbie Cook. I loved Debbie. And what happened to her really wrecked me.
Yeah, so Debbie Cook used to run the Flag Base in Clearwater, Florida. And she was just completely unhappy with what was going on in Scientology. And she ended up writing an email on New Year's Eve and sent it out to everyone, exposing all the abuses of Scientology. It was amazing. I'll have to go through that another time.
2012, Debbie Cook sent an email
of protest. That's another story. Okay, let's see if I can get to a different part here.
He said compilations. Miss and also Rowan Horridge, another from Scientology's Int base in 2012. She explained. In 2013. She sat on it for a few months, and she says it was Arthur Hubbard who convinced her to get the information out to the public.
Okay, well, I'll be more organized with that later. All right. Well, I mean, thank you so much for watching my video. I would like to do my next video on Marilyn Manson. As you know, he has been accused of multiple abuses. And after I watched the video that Evan Rachel Wood did called Phoenix Rising, I was 100% convinced that he is just an evil person and just needs to be locked up forever. So I'm starting to realize now that I'm easily gaslit sometimes. I want to expose gaslighting and I want people to think critically. But I was completely convinced just from watching a documentary, and I learned a hard lesson. So I do want to thank some people for kind of sharing with me how these allegations might be actually false. And I know that's hard to believe, but I've heard some pretty good evidence that makes me question these allegations. So thank you for Mulder Manson for telling me that would be a great topic. He's or he or she is a person on Twitter that I chat with, and they thought it would be a good idea if I went through how I came to the conclusion that it's possible that Marilyn Manson is innocent of these charges. So I think I'm going to do that next. But today I just want to leave you with a hilarious video. It's a promo video, I believe, from the 80s that Scientology did. And it's wonderful. So thank you again. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share my show. And I will definitely see you next time. See if you can find Mike Rinder in this video. All right, everyone. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much for coming. Get ready for some We Stand Tall. Oh, wait. I don't think I did the right one. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. You're going to love it. Oh, come on. Here we go.
Words from a book showed me the way. To be free of the shadows of yesterday. But the price of that freedom we all must pay from now on. Ooh, joining together we held our ground, and we lifted our voices one mighty sound. And struck down the walls of darkness. We stood tall. Yes, we did. We decided to take a stand to defend the rights of man. We stand tall. No turning back. We found the way. We stand tall, ever strong, we'll live on. We stand tall, knowing the truth will set us free, and take us from clear to eternity, to a future we thought would never be.
Oh,
we stand tall.
Oh, she's here.
And your legacy is secure, for we'll keep your vision pure.
Yeah.
Oh, we stand tall.
And I must point out that the leader of Scientology, David Miscavige, is like 4'9". So I don't know what he was thinking in calling this video We Stand Tall. If he stands next to Tom Cruise looks like a giant.
No turning back. We found the way. We stand tall.
Oh, John Travolta, I love you so much. Please get out of Scientology for fuck's sake.
Forever strong. We'll live on. We stand tall. Turning back. Oh, we stand tall. Forever strong. We'll live on.
All right, look at this guy. This guy with the bald hair. Oh my God. Okay, and this is Mike Rinder right here.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And this is David Miscavige. I don't know what the hell he's wearing. This is Marty Rathburn. He actually escaped Scientology and did a lot of videos. And then he had a blog and he was fighting, he was suing. And then somehow David Miscavige got him back in. I don't know if he's back in Scientology, but he definitely is keeping quiet. He's making hate videos on his friends. So I think money was exchanged there. Scientology is worth $3 billion, by the way.
We stand tall, no turning back. We found a way. We stand tall.
Don't you like how Scientology also, they dress in military uniforms like they're in some sort of military? It's kind of ridiculous. It's very ridiculous. I don't know what the hell that is. That would look like a Civil War reenactment. There's David Miscavige giving out some kind of fake award. This guy probably donated like $1 million or something to get that. There's my finger again. That guy is so strange looking. That is Shelly Miscavige. So I'm sure some of you know who that is. We'll do a video on her someday. There's Elle already. The man. Hope all you have this in your head the rest of the day tonight. Oh, yay! Hooray! The big parade!